Before we dive into this cosmic tale, please subscribe so you never miss the next emotional journey across worlds. The Starliner Stardancer cut a solitary path through the emerald swirls of the Ghost Nebula, a gilded cage for its most revered and feared passenger. Isolde, the Xylosan sovereign, was a vision of contained power, her form a tapestry of living metal and shifting, mercury-like skin that reflected the starlight in a silent warning. A chasm of empty seats surrounded her, a testament to the legends that spoke of her kind's ability to shatter minds with a single thought. Into this void of deliberate isolation stepped Kalen, a human xenobotanist whose hands were still smudged with soil from the ship's arboretum. Oblivious to the unspoken rules, he sought only a quiet place to observe the nebula and found it directly beside her. A collective breath hitched through the observatory deck. Isolde turned, her voice a harmonic chill. "You intrude upon a sanctioned solitude. Are your people so reckless with their sanity?" Kalen merely offered a calm smile. "The view is best from here, and sanity is overrated when compared to a sight like that." Her mercury skin rippled, not with anger, but with profound curiosity. For the first time in a century of travel, someone saw not a sovereign to be feared, but a person to converse with. Their dialogue began as a delicate dance, his earnest wonder about cosmic ecology meeting her vast, lonely knowledge. He spoke of symbiotic fungi and resilient moss. She described stars that sang as they died. He was comfortable with not knowing. She, who was bred for omniscience, found his humility revolutionary. A tremor then tore through the ship, a violent shudder that severed the main power conduit and bathed the decks in emergency crimson. As alarm screamed, Kalen was already moving. "The life support flora is going into toxic shock," he stated, his voice cutting through the panic. "It will poison the atmosphere." Isolde rose, a statue of defiance. "I do not follow orders from gardeners." "Then consider it an invitation," he replied, already sprinting towards the arboretum. She followed. The arboretum was a chaos of dying, bioluminescent plants and swirling neurotoxins. The ship's AI was useless. The delicate ecosystem could only be stabilized by a Xylosan's precise neurokinetic touch, guided by an understanding of the biology itself. "The root network is the ship's secondary neural system," Kalen shouted over the din, his hands gently cradling a withering bloom. "You can interface with it, but you must be gentle, like listening to a whisper." Isolde knelt, her metallic fingers sinking into the soil. The feedback was a screaming torrent of death, but Kalen's voice was an anchor. "Guide the energy through the mycelium, not against it. You have to trust it." For a being who commanded through will, trust was a foreign language, but she learned it in that moment of shared desperation. A final, coordinated surge of her power, directed by his intimate knowledge, cascaded through the ecosystem. The plants flared with a brilliant, healing light, and the air cleared. Silence returned, thick with exhaustion and awe. Isolde looked at Kalen, truly seeing him, not as a simple botanist, but as a man who had faced the abyss with a quiet courage that mirrored her own. Back in the observatory, as terrified officials clamored for answers, Isolde's voice silenced them all. "Kalen's symbiosis with life saved us all. My power was merely the instrument. His was the wisdom." She then turned to the seat beside her, the one that had been a throne of isolation for so long. "This space is no longer a quarantine. It is a sanctuary for those who are unafraid to truly see." She looked at Kalen. "Will you share it?" He sat, not as a subject, but as an equal. As the Stardancer sailed on, the emerald nebula outside seemed to glow brighter. "Why did you truly sit here?" Isolde asked softly, the starlight catching in her liquid eyes. "Because," he said, his gaze holding hers, "the most beautiful things in the universe are often the most lonely. I thought you might need a fellow traveler." A slow, radiant warmth spread across her metallic features, a Xylosan smile. The empty space around them no longer felt like a barrier, but the beginning of a new constellation, built not on fear, but on a connection that had rewritten the destiny of a ship and two souls sailing through the infinite dark.